Howdy folks, and welcome back to the Rocks Roost and another exciting installment of Let's Play Final Fantasy I, the Pixel Remaster. Glad to have you here. Last time we sort of tied up loose ends by picking up the chest that we somehow forgot in the Marsh Cave, which is kind of crazy because we went back there twice to get the Mystic Key treasures, or rather went back there a second time for the Mystic Key treasures, and somehow I did not get it. So that's why it always pays to check the map. We look here and we see so far, with the exception of the Chaos Shrine, which we'll get back to at some point, it looks like we're good on chests. I think we have everything. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Alright, so where do we go now? Well, down there in the old Shrine Room, we got the Rosetta Stone. I was going to say the slab. This gives us a way to translate ancient writing. And we at some point had heard, I believe from the man's brother, that Dr. Oon, whom we met way back in Melmond, is some kind of an expert in ancient languages. So let's go see if we can track him down. You know, while we're here, just checking. Yeah, we're pretty much up to full. Okay. Not this way. Sorry. Oh, I forgot we didn't change the avatar. There we go. I do like the white wizard. Let's walk around with the knight for a little while. Here he is. Oh man, he is excited. Just a moment. Let me see that tablet. This is the Rosetta Stone. This makes it possible to decipher Levanian. You know, this guy's kind of the... well, I'll finish that thought in a moment. Yes, of course. That's what it was. It all makes sense. Here, allow me to express my gratitude by teaching you Levanian. Thanks. Well, we are quick studies. There, you know, you can speak Levanian too. Yeah, that's fantastic. Why can't we just shove NPCs out of the way regularly? Restore the crystal's grace. Aye. Yeah, so he's kind of like the analog to Sid in this game. You know, he gives you some skill or ability or technical feat or something that allows you to progress, oftentimes to the end. But I'm glad they resisted the urge to Sidify him, because that would be, I think, against the spirit of a true remaster. I think one of the ones, Dawn of Souls or Origins, one of the remakes did sort of make a reference there, but the first Sid is actually in the next game, not this one. So, you know, I love the fact that there's been a Sid in almost every Final Fantasy, but I'm glad they resisted the urge there to stay true to the original. Alright, so, the town where they don't speak English, that was the town of Lufane, which is here, in the Wing of the Hawk. Now, sadly, we can't land there, even though it looks like we can. We can't land anywhere near here, so the game thinks it's funny, I guess, to make us... see, that's a marsh. We can't land there. The boat would, of course, sink in there. So we have to land here. Alright, so let's go see what these Levanians have to say. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and make a save here. Yeah, so we're actually closing in on Desert Beretta. This is also known as the Ankylo in the original. They can hit like a truck, so be careful. Are they weak to fire? I'm not sure. Or lightning, let's see. Yeah, so we're closing in. We're closing in on the last fiend here. I don't think we'll get to him in this episode, but we might get close. And with that, you know, the game, I will warn you. Oh, one gil. We go across the little lake here. The pacing of the game is kind of breakneck from here to the end. So once you do the Sunken Shrine, it's quick. Okay, so let's see. I'm actually going to have him use one of the light axes. I will have him use the Mage's Staff, and I will have her use the gauntlets. I could have used, I guess, the light axe there for her. That would have been... I don't know if this is the most effective way to deal with this or not, but I'm tempted by the undead. It worked out just fine. Yeah, so the pace is a little breakneck from here to the end. Spoiler alert. You know, that's one of the things about the game that... the pacing, you know, I've talked about that from the very get-go. This game does have pacing issues. And so, yeah. You know, at the beginning of the game, you just kind of fart around forever. You know, you're going back and forth. Getting the crown, and then getting the earth rod, the ruby, and then the earth rod, and you know the whole process we went through at the beginning. And so you're farting around before you get to your first fiend, and then from the first fiend, bam, you can go to the second fiend. That quick. And then from the second fiend, bam, you go to the third fiend, and then third, bam, fourth fiend, and then fourth fiend, you're done with the game. You know, you go to the final boss and you're done. So the game is slow at the beginning and incredibly quick at the end. And I don't know how you could change that without fundamentally changing the narrative. But you either like it or you don't. I mean, whatever. I'm not convinced, quite honestly, I'm not convinced that you could truly, like, love this game unless you already have experience with the original. You know, there's like a nostalgia factor. It is a good game, but the difference between it being good and great, I think, is depending on whether or not you have nostalgia for the original. Just my opinion. We are the Lufenians, the descendants of the race that once lived among the clouds, the Sky People. You use a vessel you call an airship. It was built by one of our ancestors, a man by the name of Sid. Okay, so scratch everything I said about Sid. They did work it in. Well, Dr. Un, I would argue, is still more of a Sid than this non-Sid. The light bearers, and the legend is true. Well, forget everything I said about that. That kind of sucks. We have a legend that's been passed down through many generations. According to the legend, 400 years ago, or even 400 years after the fall of civilization in the sky, warriors bearing light will come forth to save our people. That's right, folks. It's time for the info dump. 400 years ago, we built a civilization of the highest order. Even beyond the skies we reached. However, that is not but history now. Okay. The flying castle floats on a blue sea of stars beyond the sky. So it's a space station. Could the mechanical beings our ancestors created still function? Maybe. The Sky People would pass on their memories from one generation to the next through rituals. But 400 years is a very long time, and those memories have begun to fade. Finally, an RPG that appreciates just how long a century is. This world is composed of 4 forces: fire, earth, water, and wind. Of these, we showed greatest prowess with the power of wind. High in the sky, we set a castle afloat in that azure sea of stars. Yeah, so this is making me think, that it's actually like a space station rather than a floating castle per se. But we'll see when we get there. We came to believe there was another entity controlling the 4 fiends. To ascertain his location, we sent out 5 warriors, but much time has passed since we heard from them. I hope no harm has befallen them. Excuse me. The castle that floats high above the clouds was once home of our ancestors. The Mirage Tower is the gateway to that castle. Ooh. Okay, so we need to find our way in. We struggled for our very lives with Tiamat, the fiend of wind, but our power was not enough. To this day, her lair remains in the castle in the sky, the flying fortress. Tiamat blocks the power of wind, the source of the Sky People's strength. Okay, we'll see if we can do something about that. We placed our last hope in the 5 warriors we sent out. It's been said they fell victim to the curse of the fiends and were turned into bats. Okay. Maybe those are the ones we encounter in the caves that go key. But how do we get into this Mirage Tower? Before you leave, legendary warriors, take this chime with you. It will grant you passage into the Mirage Tower. Well, howdy do. How about that? You obtain the chime. Yes. So nice. Okay. Well, that's great. And again, if we had come here before we got the slab and were taught by Dr. Oon, these people would be speaking gibberish to us. But now that we have the chime and whatnot, there's one more thing we can do here. But where, you ask? Aha. There's a secret magic shop. How about that? See what they have. Find anything to your liking. Full life. Hell yes. That is to my liking. Okay, that does what it says on the tin. This is like the magic shop we saw before, but they have different jars here in the middle. Isn't that neat? Okay, second favorite magic shop. Blair, also known as Nuke in the original. This would be I guess an okay spell for the old black wizard. It is pricey and it's good, but and it hits everybody. If you're gonna get a black mage and /wizard, I guess this would be a good reason to. More effective in the Origins and Dawn of Souls remakes because you have the whole MP pool versus spell slots. You never get a whole lot of level 8 slots, or level 8 charges rather. Anyway, the red wizard can't use it, but there it is. That's where you get it if you want it, and you have a black wizard with you. Okay, so that's all for this place. We'll never have to come here again. Alright, so I'm going to save, and we'll head back up to the old airship. See if we can't get into the tower. Wyvern, I think we've fought these before. At this point, no big whoop-de-doo. The wing of the hawk here. More wyverns. It's okay. I've got this. There's one thing I want to check. I need to check to see if we ever bought that Null Shock spell. I don't remember if we bought it. That one is mega old. We did. Yes, it's a level 2. It's the only level 2 we got. So we have Null Shock, Null Frost, Null Blaze. Yeah. Good. The one and only time I would use Null Shock will be coming up before long. So I thought if we didn't have it, I would probably go buy it. So just fly over here to the west. You've probably seen this before. This is the Mirage Tower right here. It'd be nice if it were, you'd think if it was built by the Sky People that it would have like, an airship, what's it called? Not a port. What is it called? I can't remember. Can we land here? We can indeed. I'll think of it when I stop trying to think of it. That is something, kids, that you will experience when you get old all the time. You will think of things when you quit trying to think of them. Okay. Sandworm, this is new. This is just a palette swap of the lava worm. And it's kind of pitiful. All right, let's see what's going on in here, shall we? All right, we got the frantic music again. Now, we have a ring that sort of goes around the outside. It's empty in all the other versions, so I'm assuming it is empty here. Yeah, so we just want to go inside here. And there's going to be some treasure. Nightmare and the Black Knight. This is a new enemy, the Black Knight, also called Bad Man in the original. And I'll tell you, I'm so cheap. I think I'll do that. And I think I'll do that. Okay. Again, the blindness is not a big deal. I think there's been a little bit of a change up in the enemies. You see, the blindness affected how many hits we could get in there. The blindness, I'm sorry, I think the enemy chart, or enemy, what's it called? You know, the enemies that can appear have actually been changed. I don't remember meeting up with the Badman / Black Knight until the castle before, but I could be wrong about that. You know, I'm going to change my strategy a little bit here. Let's hit him with that. Anyway, they're pretty vanilla. They have a cousin that is called Evil Man in the original. We'll see what it's called in this. That could cast Nuke, which can be a real butt hurt, so you gotta watch out for that. I don't think it was very likely they'd cast Nuke. I don't. It seems like it's in the second position, or maybe third position in the spell table. I might be wrong. I'm going on pretty old info at this point, which even at second position means it's unlikely to use it. There's a spell that it prefers, and I can't remember what that is, or ability. Now, I might look that up before the next episode, just because it's going to bother me. But Guardian, new enemy. Make sure you get it for the old bestiary. What should I do with you? Alright. That is a really cool graphic, but it doesn't do much damage. Of robots, not the most concerning. Aegis Shield. Okay, that protects against stone. And poison. Okay, very good. Pop that onto him. Yeah, wishful thinking. Okay. 2750 gil, 1810 gil. Vorpal Sword. I think this sucks. A very sharp crescent blade. Yeah, it's useless. Okay. Yeah, unless it has some secret ability I'm not aware of, then that's not something you should need to worry too much about. 3400 gil. We're not going to need much money going forward, so don't worry too much about all that. If you're playing the original, there's weirdness with the way the equipment inventory works. If you have questions about that, just ask them in the comments, because it's complicated, and since I haven't been talking about that, I don't want to take up a lot of time. But if you are playing the original along with me here, you may have equipment problems, and there's certain things you'll just have to drop. But basically, common sense will be your guide. Healing Helm. This is like the Healing Staff. It casts Heal when used. I think it's not an upgrade for him. These two have ribbons, so it's just a nice another way to cast heal if you really need to. Okay, I think that's all the treasures here. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go down. What is this? This has caught my eye. Just repeat. I'm sure it's just a towel on the floor and no big deal, but indulge me. Indulge me. Just what is this? Ooh, pretty. Well, there's a robot. Let's see what he says. Master, we have waited so long. Okay. Well, I'm finally here. Were-Tiger, Sabretooth. Pretty sure these are both new. So now you see my ulterior motive. Wandering around to be sure we complete the bestiary. Now we can come back to the tower here just about any time, but once we get up to the space station, I mean floating castle, we need to make sure we get everything while we're there. And that includes a particularly powerful foe that we may have to spend some time hunting. More on that when we get there. You see, I mean, if you've prepared yourself as I have, you should be in pretty good shape here. So far, nothing is really dangerous. It can be a little bit more dangerous in the original. They have made the game easier, I think. Okay, so this is another big circular room, of course, because we are in a tower. So what we want to do, we're going to go around counterclockwise, around to the top, go over here, come in, and go over toward the room, and get inside, because there's a whole bunch of goodies in there. This is a pretty neat locale. It's not as gloomy in this. This is a huge group, by the way. The original game, the tower was very gloomy inside. But I think that had more to do with graphical limitations than anything else. Like how the floor was black. Because it was black in a whole lot of interiors. Like castles and things. But that did have its charms, I thought. Again, I grew up with this, so people who are looking at this version as their first experience with the game are going to have a totally different opinion than I do, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to gatekeep, you know? I mean, come on. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. If you don't have fun with it, then don't play it. We've seen these guys before, but they've got the drop on us. We don't have to worry about stone on the knight anymore because of the Aegis shield, so that's pretty good. Let's see. We'll have him fight. We're going to have him use the... I keep thinking wizard should be the fire and not mage, but whatever. What was I doing? Gauntlets. Remember, though, Pyralisk and Cockatrice are pretty weak. They're just annoying because of the status effects. We don't need to worry about instant death on anybody anymore because of the pro rings. Alright, King Mummy down for the count. Alright, we'll go up here. And we'll go around... Hellhound, I'm pretty sure this is new too, so you know the drill. These guys are not super powerful, so that attack is not that annoying. The, did we find these in the volcano? Now I'm thinking maybe we did. I don't know. Probably did. I just don't know for sure what. Okay, so go up this way. Down this way. We want to get inside this area, of course. Okay, the Chimera. They have a fire attack that is AoE, so let's just cast this. I can't remember if it... I don't think it's like mega strong, but it could be annoying. They may not even get a chance to get it off because they prefer physical attacks, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to be safe, and Null Blaze is a relatively cheap spell. And somehow it missed the two wizards. Not sure if their magic defense probably is bugged. That is very likely. Very likely, because let's see. Here we have I can't remember what stat determines magic defense and how it is calculated, but I guarantee you, I think it's a hidden stat. If I remember correctly, it's a hidden stat, and let's see, I'm getting disoriented. Yeah, so they're being mages. Their magic defense is super high, right? Well, they shouldn't be able to evade a buff that they cast themselves. So that's probably bugged. Probably bugged. I mean, it might not be, but I would just about bet a couple shekels on it. Okay, here you see there's the very low chance that, but it can happen, that this attack paralyzes. But it's a short-term paralysis, as you see. Our master's already back up on his feet. Alright, so we go through here. Now there's a bunch of goodies in here. It doesn't matter what side you start on. Dragon Mail, 10,000 gil. Sunblade, 7,600 gil. Cottage. Alright, so we look here. Sunblade, significant increase for us here. Can the red mage use it? He can. Drops his accuracy, though, which means that drops his number of hits. So give it to the knight. Straight upgrade. Also, the Dragon Mail, fashioned from dragon scales, and it guards against fire and ice. So, you know, that's good. And again, I'm checking, just bear with me here, because they have changed a few things on the equipment draw. Yeah, give it to the knight. It should be good. Check the other side now. Same old, same old. We'll just hack through these since the status effects are not a big deal anymore. Not really. We have ribbons on our mages, which protect us there. We have pro rings on everybody, so the death thing. And the Aegis shield. So the only person who can get stoned, whole bunch of gold. Thor's hammer, whole bunch of gold that we don't really need, but whatever. I guess they want to make sure that if you want to buy the spells, or, you know, if you're trying to do a low level run, and you like run from most of the battles, or you are playing the remasters on console and turn the counters off, all this gold might come in handy, because you could then buy equipment and spells that otherwise you wouldn't have money for. So that's kind of a neat setup. That may not be the intention of the developers, but anyhow, thinking out loud. Okay, so Thor's hammer, this casts Thundara when used, like the Zeus gauntlets. And if we can actually equip that, yeah, so let's do that. And I'm going to do a slight amount of item manipulation here, or organization. So, okay, that sounds good. So finally got my equipment settled. Let's pop a quick save there. Okay, so that's everything in here. Let's get out of here. Gold needle, always appreciated. Even though we're rich as Croesus now, it's still good to have. Alright, up here, let's talk to the Robo. Our friend left on a journey to the west. He took the warp cube and went to see our master. Oh, that's the guy from the waterfall. Good thing we encountered him. We're gonna need that cube. Remember what I said, that the master is the only one that can get stoned? Well, indeed, it just happened. I must have willed it into existence. It's okay. If we were playing any other version, I would worry, but in this one, stoned characters still get XP, so just keep going. We'll fix it in a minute. Let's see. Little needle. Alright, up we go. 3rd floor. This is self-explanatory. At this point, I think we have all the treasure in here. So, oh joy. Let's use this. Look at them. They're afraid. Afraid, even. Get him. And that's how we do that. Alright, we have an encounter here. Shouldn't be, you know, too big of a deal, but this is where we're going to need that Null Blaze. The Blue Dragon. This guy likes his thunder attacks, so let's, did I say Null Blaze? I meant Null Shock. Whoops. You know, I think I'm just going to attack. And we'll have her cast Null Shock. The one and only time I'm going to use it in the whole game, probably. If we don't kill the dragon first. Okay. Never mind. I was debating going back out and using a cabin, but I don't really think I need to. Use the warp cube to travel beyond the sky. It will take you to the flying fortress. This must be the transporter pad. Again, let's look at the old warp cube. A cube made of a multi-hued substance. Alright, so let's quick save here. This is going to have to wait until next time. This is our way up to the flying castle / space station, which we will explore next time on Let's Play Final Fantasy. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.